Points could be had is blocked there by the Scotties. It's going to be picked up and returned. Here comes Dominic Williams. He's at the 40-yard line, on the sideline, down to the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Scotties!
Do you feel the buzz, or is it just trust me? Something in the air just above me. Something like a dream state. You call it a clean break. Do you feel the buzz, baby? Do you feel the buzz?
Nice fight there. The hammer shot laid down. Orozco brings out the radar gun and reels back the kill. And Clanks another tattooing shot that time there. Wow, reels back, fires out of the cannon. Kearns dropping back to pass. He's got his man in the flat. It's going to be caught by Brown. Down to the 5. Leapfrogs and into the end zone. Touchdown! Scotties! Brown does his best leapfrog impression, jumping over the defender and actually landing on top of him in the end zone.
Do you feel the buzz?
Welcome to Scottie Sports Talk. Catch up on the latest in Highland Community College sports as we chat with coaches and student athletes. Let's talk Scottie Sports. Now, here's your host and voice of the Scotties, Mike Smith.
And welcome in tonight here to Scottie Sports Talk, first edition of the 2018 calendar year. Mike Smith alongside with you here. We'll take it back and look at the latest women's and men's basketball action. Also, indoor track season has started, and that's where we're going to start things off as I'm joined by Ivana Uribe and Adolphus Shurup. And guys, you opened up the track and field season just this past Saturday out at Doane, and both of you put together great individual performances, and some of your teammates as well put together some performances. And Adolphus, I'll start with you. 600 meter, you finished second place, but you set a new school record. You qualified for nationals in the first meet of the season, and what was it like to be able to accomplish a goal just like that in meet number one?
Well, I already had it set in my mind. I was already in shape to qualify, so I just wanted to go out there and just compete and just get the time down. And that's basically what I did.
Ivana, you, of course, accomplished the same feat of qualifying for nationals, and you took first place in the 3,000-meter run. And I know you had some specific goals when it came to cross-country, and I'm sure that qualifying for nationals coming into indoor track was a goal as well. But how did it feel to accomplish something like that in the first meet?
It was really cool. I didn't really think I was going to run that fast. I mean, I was in decent shape, but I'm not at, my best shape yet. So doing that was really cool.
So talking about getting in shape, I wanted to ask you guys kind of what is your regiment or, things you do for your workout to get ready for the track season? Anything particular that you did to get ready for track?
I don't know, probably a lot of base, a lot of lactic workouts, 600, 500, 400, stuff like that, 300. Coach Bond just put the workouts together. We just got to get it done. And that's all it is.
Ivana?
Mine's more like distance running, mileage, and then 400, just speed kind of thing, just repeats, yeah.
I mentioned, too, that obviously coming into the season, you have that strong performance in the very first meet. You get a home meet this Saturday, but always coming into the season, I know a lot of athletes have goals that they set, and I'm sure getting to the Nationals is being one, which both of you have accomplished that. But Adolphus, I'll start with you. Any other particular goals that you have, for the rest of the indoor season?
Basically just to qualify for as many events as I can. Probably the 400, the 800, probably DMR, 4x4, 4x8, just as much as possible, and try to go to nationals for the 600 mainly though, but just to qualify for as much possible events I can.
Ivana?
I want to focus mainly on the 3K, but I think I'll also focus on like the mile and the DMR kind of thing. But yeah, I just want to lower my time in the 3K mainly.
Both of you are obviously sophomores, so you were here last year in competition and were able to go to nationals, I know, in at least one or two events there, but now you get to go at least one for so far and more that you have planned, hopefully, with the events to come up and meets. But what are you looking forward to the most when the season continues? Anything particular that stands out to you that you're kind of looking forward to?
Competition. Just the competition. That's what I want, the competition.
Yeah, just competition and PRing and just being able to run the fastest I can.
I always like to ask athletes, about themselves. And Ivana, I know you've been on the show before, to kind of give everybody a lowdown on kind of your personality and such. So I won't ask you as many questions, I guess, in that capacity. But it was the holiday season, and looking back to that, I know everybody hopefully had a good holiday break. But what was one of your favorite memories from just this past holiday break, or a favorite gift that you got?
I mean, just being with family and friends, and I got running shoes, so that was exciting. But yeah.
Adolphus, what about you, man?
Just spending time with my family and my son. That's all.
Awesome. And I wanted to ask you guys about, usually people have, stuff they do to that pregame type of thing. I guess when you're running, obviously, you warm up. Any type of music that you like to listen to get you, ready to go?
Reggae and culture.
Reggae?
Culture. Reggae and culture. That's what I listen to.
Yeah. Yvonne?
Mine is on Pandora, and I listen to Billie Eilish. Yep.
All right. I always ask all the other athletes, too, what's their, favorite thing about being here at Highland? Obviously, being sophomore, you've been here a little bit now. What's, a favorite memory about being here at Highland, or, something that you're going to take away when you leave here? Either one could jump in.
I mean, I really like Highland just because it's really small and everyone's just really nice, and I just have time to myself to focus on running and studying. So yeah, that's really nice.
Adolphus, what about you, man?
I like the teachers, the coaching staff. The teachers I really like because they actually get to know the students, and if you have any problems, they actually pull you to the side and actually talk to you. They get to know what's going on and try to help you with your problem in the classroom.
Well, I want to say congratulations again to both of you for qualifying for nationals with your performance at the very first meet. Best of luck coming up this weekend as you get a home meet over at the Walter Wellness Center for the indoor track and field scene. And hopefully maybe I'll have you on Scottie Sports Talk again.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ivana Uribe and Adolphus Stirrup right here, of course, at the indoor track and field scene for Highland Community College. We'll switch it to men's basketball and, of course, be joined by a couple of the players. We return here on Scottie Sports Talk.
To Highland Community College because of the affordability. With my scholarship, I'll be graduating debt-free. But the best part is, I'm getting the same college experience as a lot of my friends who go to four-year universities.
Highland Community College. Enroll today at highlandcc.edu.
Welcome back here on Scottie Sports Talk. Transitioning to men's basketball. Of course, the men's team now at 12-5 after a 100-79 victory against On Point Academy last Thursday out of the holiday break, and now joined by a couple of the men's basketball players, Alonzo Williams and Tavion Mason. Guys, thanks for taking the time to join us here on Scottie Sports Talk. And I kind of want to touch base on the last game. 100-79 victory, and you get past 100 points, you get the win, more importantly in that. But it was a close ball game at halftime in that one. And what did Coach tell you guys, at halftime to get you prepared for the second half, and then that performance you put together in the second half to get the win?
Just to pick it up and keep to what we know and what we worked on, and just practically just be us, I guess.
David?
It was get better, go out there and get better, and try to progress since we was coming back from the break.
Talking about getting better, obviously 12-5 on the season, and the 5 losses obviously were close ball games too. Then you played a lot of close ball games on the season, coming out with W's in a few of those as well. But how have you thought the seasons went for the team, and maybe comment on how it's went for you guys individually too? I
think as a team, we've done pretty well. Our losses, we could have done better on it. I think really those are in our hands. So I think we've done all right so far. So.
David?
Yeah, I think we did pretty good as a team too.
I wanted to ask you individually. I know obviously this is your first year at Highland for both of you. Alonzo, this is not your first year in college basketball. You, of course, transfer in, but how's that transition going for you? From a different program to here. Obviously closer to home for you. But how's that transition going for you?
It's going all right. It didn't take too long to fill into the system. I think I could do better. That was always so. Yeah.
Tavion, you've had some pretty big ball games, nearly a triple-double against Link-Year Prep, I think it was, with 14 assists and 14 points and 9 boards. But how you feel you're kind of fitting into the system, obviously being a freshman and your first year in college basketball?
I think I fit pretty well. It's like he got the play style that I like to play.
Anything particular that you talk about the play style that stood out to you that kind of maybe made you want to come here?
Like we up and down. Like if the other team miss, we pushing it. And then if we ain't got nothing, we just settle it. He let the guards attack, let everybody attack. I just like it.
Yeah, you guys have had good ball distribution, and 4 guys average double figures, and the rest of the guys kind of in between, 3.5 to 5 points. It seems like so well-balanced team. And I wanted to ask you what you're looking forward to the most for the rest of the season. You got a couple more games before conference play starts, and then conference play is going to pick up. As you guys know, it's going to be tough when it comes to there. But what are you looking forward to with the rest of the season?
We're looking forward to get better, for sure. We don't want to lose any games, of course. And we want to make it to win the conference and regions and keep going so far.
Looking forward to nationals.
Yeah, guys, the team came up just a bit short there last year, so I know that a few of those guys back, and I'm sure that they wanted to get it, but you guys jumping in knew that kind of had an opportunity, I'm sure, to get to that point. Mm-hmm. I wanted to ask too, talk to Ivana and Adolphus obviously about kind of get to know you questions and such, and let all watchers and listeners kind of get to know you guys. But I'll start off with the same kind of question of it was a holiday break, obviously a fun time to I'm sure get home, get to see the family and such. But anything that stood out to you that was fun about holiday break for you? What maybe a gift that you got, or just spending time with the family?
I just had fun kicking it back with my family and friends. So, yep, got a lot of good break off.
Yeah, same way. Just with my family and friends, and not going to class.
Yeah, and you get back to class, of course, they're relatively soon, so you got to get back at it there. As far as that goes, already back at it for the basketball scene. But I always ask too, you get prepared for games, you're warming up. Is there any go-to music that you like to kind of get you juiced, get that amped up, ready for the game?
I listen to it all, so I listen to rap, gospel, Christian rap, anything like that.
I listen to 21 Savage, he be a young boy.
All right. What's maybe a hobby that you guys have that somebody might not think that you're interested in?
I like to eat. Eating is definitely my hobby. So.
Yeah. Any particular food your favorite?
Not really. I like everything, but can't go wrong with Chinese, I guess. So.
All right.
I like Chinese.
I like fishing.
Fishing?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm assuming maybe you did a lot of fishing growing up in Kentucky?
Yeah.
Right, cool. And I'll let you guys out of here on this one. I ask everybody what's their favorite thing about Highland, or kind of what your favorite memory is going to be from Highland. You still obviously have some good memories, hopefully, to continue to have. But what's one of your favorite things about being here at Highland?
One of my favorite things about Highland, I love how relaxed and chill people are here. Like, people are easy to get along with. I like that. So.
Yeah, everybody cool and just fun times with the team.
Yeah. You guys get along pretty good. I mean, I feel, just covering the team, that there's pretty good team chemistry, it seems like.
Yeah, we all bond together pretty well. So.
Nice. Well, that's going to hopefully bode well for the rest of the season. Guys, best of luck moving forward, of course. Graceland JV, the next opponent on the road. Best of luck in that one. And thanks for taking the time to join us here on Scottie Sports Talk.
Appreciate it.
Lonzo Williams and Tavion Mason of the men's basketball team. We'll chat some women's basketball with a few of the players when we return here on Scottie Sports Talk.
I work hard for what I want, for what I need to be better. Paying for college shouldn't be such a struggle just because I'm coming from another state.
It doesn't have to be. At Highland Community College, out-of-state students pay the same as in-state students.
And I can become whoever I want to be at a fraction of the cost of a university.
Discover an affordable technical or transfer education here at Highland Community College.
And welcome back here on Scottie Sports Talk. We move on to women's basketball, and back in action for the Lady Scotties they were. Of course, most recently taking down Native Dream 116-37 back on Saturday to improve to 17-0 and ranked 7th currently in the nation in NJCAA Division II. And now I'm joined by a couple of the Lady Scotties players, Cameron Lemon and Bree Tidwell. And gals, thanks for taking the time to join me. And of course, I'm sure you were eager to get back to the game action out of the holiday break. But a nice break, I'm sure, too. But I wanted to ask you about that game against Native Dream, and you held them to 9 points in the first half and 0 field goals. But what was maybe the big takeaway from that ball game that Coach preached to you that you wanted to work on?
Just like being consistent with our defense. Like you said, we held them to 9 points the first half, and we kind of let them score more the second half. So we just have to be where we need to be and just being intense when we're guarding on defense. And yeah.
Cam, any other points that Coach kind of got from that game that to work on moving forward?
It's the same thing every game. It's never about the other team. It's about us. So we just really focus on ourselves.
I know that Coach wants to buckle down on the defensive end quite a bit, and I wanted to ask you about the progression of the season. Obviously, 17-0 and some eye-popping numbers as far as statistical factors go. But what was the biggest point? Because both of you obviously come in this year, new to the program. What was the biggest point that you remember from Coach B.J. Smith that he preached to you right when you had the first practice?
Intensity. Like from the jump, like he was just always be intense with everything you do. Like even if you're not doing it right, as long as you're intense about it, everything will work itself out. So that's about it, really.
Cam, you've had pretty good performance here the last 5 games, double figures. It seems like maybe something's kind of clicking for you in that capacity. Do you feel you've gotten a little bit more comfortable at this point and kind of maybe finding a bit of a groove for yourself?
Yeah, at the beginning, I had a lot to work on with me coming back from being out last season. So now I feel more comfortable. So
At the beginning, you did drop 21, I think it was, in the season opener, I think it was, and then you had 24, of course, for your season high this year. And Bree, you can score quite a bit as well, 31 points in a couple of different games. And I wanted to ask you about how you feel that your game has transitioned and fit into the team, obviously transferring in from a different program.
It's pretty good compared to where I've been in the past and just where I've been, like in the mental space. Being here, and BJ has been a lot, more patient with me in my past programs, and that's really helped me a lot. And like the first time I scored 31 points, it didn't even feel like 31 because I was so like mad about all the things I was doing wrong. Like literally, my mom was like, "How many points you scored?" I was like 18, 20. Like, and then Donnie was like, "You scored 31." I was like, "Oh crap," because I looked at the stat sheet. But like, I'm so hard on myself, so I don't really, even if I do good, I'm probably not pleased with myself. Like if I don't feel like I did good on defense, then my offense game really doesn't matter to me. Like,
you both kind of seem that way as far as hard on yourself as far as your performances go and such. And I wanted to kind of ask you what individually you thought you could improve upon moving forward throughout this season. And Cam, I'll start with you.
Defense.
Yeah. Anything particular on the defensive end stand out to you? Or?
Jumping to the ball, being more intense.
Bree?
Same thing as far as defense. Like, I'm trying to get better off the ball because I'm pretty good at picking pockets. But I'm trying to get better at reading the defense and reading the offense while I'm on defense and getting where I need to be so I can get those steals off the ball. And those steals are really what helped me, like my last game against Missouri Southern, the 31. Like, I wouldn't have had that if I wouldn't have been solid on defense. And that was like the first game that I was really pleased with how I did on my defense. So.
Well, to your credit of being good at picking pockets, you're 9th in the country in steals, if you didn't know that.
Oh.
And Cam ranked 10th in field goal percentage, so shooting the ball pretty well. Both of you are, and you're not too far behind in the field goal percentage capacity, too. The team, obviously, is putting together performances, 104.8 points per game, I think it is. And you've made, I looked it up, 693 made field goals for the team. That's 123 more than the second best team in the country.
Oh, man.
So some good performances all around, but you got some tough opponents coming up, too. Mm-hmm. And I know Coach will reiterate that fact quite a bit with the Jayhawk Conference and the opponents like Johnson County and Labette coming up. And what are you looking forward to with, that type of competition on the horizon?
We just have to emphasize, all the little things, well, not little things, all the things that we don't do, like when we're playing against, the competition we've been playing. Like the things that we're not doing as good as we could, we just have to get better because those things will matter more so when we have better competition. And I think we have like so many weapons on our team. I feel like as long as we're solid on defense and we move the ball on offense and we share the ball and play as a team, I feel like we're unstoppable, to be honest.
Bree, you brought up a good point, and Cam, I'll ask you about this, but you have so many different good players on this team, mm-hmm. and you've done a really good job as far as the team goes to be able to get everyone to contribute and find your ways to score. And how do you feel that you've been able to kind of make that work together as a team? I mean, is the team chemistry where it needs to be and good? I know Coach Smith doesn't use the word team chemistry very much, but is I guess everything good to go from all the teams together?
Yeah, team chemistry good. It's good.
All right. Well, I wanted to ask you too, like you saw, I'm sure talking with the other athletes about just get to know you type of questions, and I led off with the holiday question, and I'll kind of do the same here. Anything particularly stand out to you during your time off during the holidays that you enjoyed, or a gift that you're gonna use a lot?
My holiday break was basically just staying at home with my family. I went to the gym and worked out with my dad, of course. He had to drag me out the bed, but that's pretty much all I did over the break.
Okay.
Hang with family.
What is a particular hobby that you have, or something that you just enjoy? Maybe a favorite TV show or something like you like that, like to binge on.
Hobbies. I like to watch Grey's Anatomy, and I like to play Sudoku.
Mm.
Yeah.
Cam?
TV show. Martin.
Martin?
Martin's a good one.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I like Martin as well. Yeah. What favorite music or what music kind of gets you amped up? Get you ready for a game.
I'm really more of an R&B type person. I like rap, but like before a game, I listen to A Boogie. Like just put his whole mixtape in my ears and just listen to that before the game.
Cam?
Yeah, boy.
And Bria, I know that you're musically inclined a little bit. I won't ask you to serenade us by any means, but won't put you on the spot. But
thank you.
I heard you got a pretty good voice.
Yeah, it's okay. Not too much.
Yeah?
Just a little
you
something.
Enjoy,
Yeah, I like to sing. I like to sing. I like to write. Everybody, like my sister can sing. My brother, he can sing. He's a good writer. My sister's a good writer. It's kind of just like a family thing.
All right. And I'll get you two out of here on this one, the same questions that I've asked everybody else, but I know you haven't been here for an overly extensive period of time in Highland, but what's one of your favorite memories so far of being a Scottie?
So far, being here, I think, like as far as like where I was, like I mentioned earlier, like a mental space, like like being here has really just gotten me focused in where I need to be. I mean, I've still had some rough times here, but I feel like I'm better now, not just doing what I need to do. And I feel like I'm a better person than before I got here, so.
Cam?
Being here is great, but I haven't had my favorite memory yet. My memory would be when we win nationals and get Coach Davis first.
Yeah, that would be great.
I like that. I like that. Looking forward and looking ahead. Obviously, have that goal and mindset in mind. And I want to wish you best of luck, ladies, for the rest of the season. Of course, Graceland JV up next, coming up on Friday, and then another game after that. Of course, before you get to conference play and those tough opponents there that are looming. But best of luck moving forward with the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Bree Tidwell and Cameron Lemon of the women's basketball team, and we'll wrap up Scottie Sports Talk this week with baseball head coach Daniel Doolin when we return on Scottie Sports Talk.
What could you accomplish in as little as 9 months? What if out-of-state students paid the same tuition as in-state students? At Highland Community College, we believe hands-on courses are the key to your success. Enroll today at highlandcc.edu.
Welcome back on Scottie Sports Talk, wrapping up the first edition of 2018 with baseball head coach Daniel Doolin. And Coach, you and the guys going to be on the ball diamond before we know it, February 10th, the first game at Butler Community College for a doubleheader there. But you, of course, take over your alma mater, this past year, and I know it didn't go maybe the win-loss way you wanted it to go, and first year, obviously, a lot of adjustments. But let's just start there. What was it like coming back to Highland to take over the head coaching duties?
Yeah, really good experience. Number one, my first time being head coach, so that was exciting, and obviously coming back to a place you played at, went to school at. That's always special for anybody. I don't care where you're at. So. It was exciting. It was challenging, obviously. Kind of the timing of the whole thing when I got the job, and I was coming from Kentucky, so it was all kind of a blur at that time. But we got after it as best we could. Anytime you take over a program, I don't care where you're at, there's always going to be challenges as far as players learning a new system and you not really even knowing what you have talent-wise and whatnot. So, we put our system in, and for the most part, guys adapted and did the best they could. We took some steps forward from the sense that we got here and laid the foundation moving forward. Obviously the competitor in you wants to win more than you lose, but there was some positives from last year, so we're excited about this year.
Looking at this year, I know that the roster is a lot different, I guess, than last season, and did you got a little bit of time, I believe, to get some fall ball in, I'm sure, and how'd that go, and how the guys adjusting to get ready for this year?
Sure. Yeah, we've got a lot of new faces. We're really young, but we're talented. So this fall was a learning experience for a lot of guys, not knowing what college baseball is like, and the competitive nature of our league, and some people, around in our region and whatnot. So it was good. Our guys learning what it takes to prepare and how to compete, and it's going to be a learning process this spring too. Our conference it's a gauntlet, as you know, so we'll probably take some bumps here and there. It'll be a learning experience for guys, but I'm looking forward to it though.
What's maybe one of the big points of emphasis or things that you want to see the guys execute when the season starts?
Sure. Intensity. I heard one of the girls say it in the last segment. That's something we preach all the time too. For us, we call it bringing the juice. So that's kind of our motto, and whether it's practice, whether it's a midweek game, whether it's a conference game, they need to bring the juice all the time. So I tell them all the time, I'm going to bring the juice. You don't got to worry about me. They need to bring it themselves. So.
Anything particular that you're looking forward to, personally as a coach? I mean, obviously, second year, maybe things might come a little bit easier, and especially now being here a little bit, and you said you kind of got thrown to the fire right off the bat last year. Maybe things coming a bit easier for you as the season approaches?
Sure, yeah. Definitely it's moving slower for sure. I think anytime player or coach, you want to get better. And so for me, that was a long summer, looking back on the season, things that I could have done differently and been better at. So we had, a lot of meetings with my staff, and I'm, honest person. Tell me, I asked them for their input on what I could have done better. So some things that I look forward to changing, handling lineups differently, situations differently. I'll be better at that. I'm looking forward to getting out there and getting the guys back, and see who all went home and worked hard, or who went home and ate all the time and didn't lose any weight.
Well, you had an opportunity, as I mentioned, obviously now coaching your alma mater, to play here in the early 2000s, in 2002 to 2004, I believe it was. But I think played second base.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
What was it like, playing baseball here?
Sure. For me, I was close to home, so that was nice. My parents could come in here, and watch me. Jowell Conference is tough, so I played at Lawrence High School. That was, 6A school is competitive, but I remember coming here, that first week things were flying by. I felt like I was in another world. So, but I enjoyed it here. I enjoyed it. The thing I always tell people, there's just good people at Highland. Whether it's people I work for or teachers and one, they're just good people here at this school. So that's some of the things I remember.
And I wanted to I'm sure probably people have seen it on the graphic about you, but your coaching experience, you mentioned you came from, or I don't know if you mentioned the school, but Murray State, right?
Yes, sir.
Before you came to Highland, and you coached at Lawrence a little bit, but to get your coaching experience started, and Hutch and Coffeyville, I think, too, in the mix there. But what's one thing that is your favorite thing about being a coach?
Just helping kids develop. Just working with kids and seeing that natural progression, watching their mature, socially, on the field, all that stuff. One of the, unfortunate things about junior college is we don't get to see the end product. We help, these kids develop, and then they go on and keep developing. But for me, obviously I want to win. That's important. But I just like helping kids, helping them grow as people, grow as players, and helping them, hopefully reach their goals on and off the field.
One thing that can help out anybody that's interested in baseball is your camps coming up, and you've got a youth camp, and then you got a prospect camp too. Absolutely. Coming up later this month. And I want to give you a chance to kind of tell the people how they can get involved in there.
Yeah, definitely. We've got a kids camp coming up. It starts this Sunday. It'll be for the next 3 Sundays from 4 o'clock, 4 to 5:30 for K through 6. And then middle school, high schoolers, 5:30 to 7. Those 3 Sundays. Then we got a high school prospect camp. Gives us a chance to, evaluate kids. More so, mainly kids around the area, but we open up, kids from anywhere obviously are welcome to come. But give us a chance to evaluate those guys. They'll run 60 and we'll measure their arm velocity, exit velocity off the bat, all that stuff. Just kind of give us a chance to see these kids in person, some kids that have contacted us and we haven't gotten a chance to get out and watch them play. But back to that kids camp though, I like working with kids. I enjoy it, So for us, it gives us a chance to connect with our community. Show these kids and parents and the community, what we're about. And also, we have our players out there working with the kids too. So they enjoy it, and it gives them a chance to, give back to the community and obviously, hopefully, we get those kids out at our games and whatnot.
More details on those camps, by the way, at ScottieAthletics.com. Of course, go to the baseball page and more links. Click on camps, and you can find out details there to get your kid in on the camps and take advantage of that opportunity with Coach Doolin and his staff. And Coach, thanks for taking the time to join us on Scottie Sports Talk. Looking forward to having you on multiple times as the season's vastly approaching fast. And February 10th, you get it going against Butler, and I'm sure you are itching to get going, but the guys probably itching a little bit too.
Absolutely, yeah, we're ready to go.
Of course, baseball coming up in February, but coming up for our next few broadcasts, we've got the Highland Community College Track and Field Indoor Meet coming up on Saturday, January the 13th. We will stream that live here on Scottie Sports Network. Then we'll have the women's basketball game against Gopachibic on January 14th. That's a Sunday afternoon around 1 o'clock tip. Also a doubleheader for basketball against Southeast Community College on Wednesday, January the 17th. And then the Highland men basketball team will take on John Wood on January the 20th. That will be a video-only broadcast on Scottie Sports Talk. And this has been Scottie Sports Talk, of course, right here on the first edition of 2018. Thanks to Coach Doolin and the rest of the crew that joined us here tonight. Thanks to my man Tyler Nordman as well. And that's going to do it for us here on Scottie Sports Talk.